Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net, doing another recording here. So let's get started on this. Okay, so I have put up calls for last night with some crypto and forex pairs. I want to share the results, lessons to be learned out of it. I've posted the results on my Instagram. I've also going to show you some sample signals and what you can expect in the quant analytics service if you want to ever join that. Okay, so we have here, I've shown this before, my YouTube videos past how to run multiple instances of MotiveWave. We have one instance running crypto. We have another one running forex. So right now, these are the calls that I made last night. Let me just readjust this. Okay, so you've got 3 calls I made late last night: the Australian Canadian dollar, the Euro Canadian dollar, and the US Japanese Yen. So I made those calls around 7, 8 o'clock p.m. These are on 15-minute charts because I'm trying to generate a lot more signals than I really need. There's a balancing act between how many signals should get sent out, if I should be using 1 hour, 4 hour, or whatnot. But I've gone over the techniques here of how I select these, again, in the MotiveWave playlist that you can find on the YouTube channel, Quant Labs. So this one's definitely been a big winner. You can see here some of the big bars that have come out of this. The Australian Canadian dollar has been pretty good. So here around 345, it did slip. I'm right now testing the Ichimoku regression channels as well as RSI on this template as a combination. The problem is when you generate signals, there's a couple of signals that get generated along when the price touches either the regression low band or higher band, and that's one set of signals. I ignore those. I do send them out, but I do ignore those potentially for entry and exits. The one that I'm really interested in terms of signaling for entries and exits that seems to work pretty good, that I've been kind of road testing, is Ichimoku Cloud. Now, there's another name for it within the MotiveWave, but you just type up Ichimoku. Here, I'll show you. If you go under Ichimoku, Ichimoku Kinko Hayo. Sorry, that's Japanese, obviously. And these signals work pretty good. I'm really interested in these to see if they are dependable for the signal on entry and for the exit as well. You can see that these can work. These signals are generated because of the regression channels. So in this case, this has been a big winner for me, like last week. This one, I have to do some careful analysis on these. So right now, since Friday, I've been testing them, and I'll show you what the signals look like. They'll end up in your analytics membership section. So here's an actual entry. So what it'll do is it will tell you, you got an alert, what pair, what is it, what kind of indicators being used, the parameters used. The one is the standard deviation for both the up and lower band. And then I'll tell you if it's crossed below, and then the value, and then it will give you a chart. Now this chart is as close as you can get to what MotiveWave generates. With the emailing process, it's a real bitch to get the emails in Python or any language, Python or Java as well, to read my messages, which are in gobbledygook characters, and trying to understand that and save that as a file has been a real tough battle all week. So I just said, screw it, I'll just generate another set using my third-party Python package called Chart Director. It's a commercial package. It's part of my Python course. So I generate that as close as I can get. So that's what these signals look like. Some of the other signals may have a format like this. As I said, this one is from earlier today. As I said, it'll be saying generated, the symbol, the value, the type of indicator, study, what happened. Okay, and these are really good. It's just, do they work or not is the question. So I have to further analyze that. But the mechanics is definitely working. So that's the format. So let's look at the results. So when you look at the Forex side of things, these signals get generated, but again, they are because of the regression channel. So I think those can be somewhat ignored. Here we've got more entry and exit along the regression bands. So again, I'm not really all that interested, but what I find quite interesting is today is, what's today? The 9th of December. So the calls went out last night around late the 8th. So in around here, you can see here on this pair, let's say we put a call out at, let's say 1830, and you can see it's had a sudden rise up. In here we have our entry. We have a sell here, which could work, or I'm not sure. This signaling is really messing me up. But here is an entry. Now along here, maybe there might be a Ichimoku signal to get out, but I can easily go through the actual individual email alerts for that. But either way, it did catch something, a wave up. Here in the Australian Canadian dollar, obviously we had this big move on the 6th of December. So when you look at in around here, it kind of went flat. So, and then obviously it started to descend. But you can see here there's no signaling, and actually this signal right here from the 6th move at 6:15 all the way up to here is a pretty good entry exit signal, and that's because of the Ichimoku. So visually, these regression channels are useful, but from a signaling point of view, I might, it's just a matter of readjusting all these signaling in the emails as well. But that definitely is a good signal here, and I could go back just to verify things. So lastly here, on the USD Japanese Yen, oddly, again, we're dealing with 15-minute charts. So here, 16:15, I think I might have put the call in around here, has come down, and here you go. You have an entry here. Ichimoku definitely generated that, and off it goes, and we're still waiting potentially for the exit signal. Let's see what else we have just to check verification. So looks like the Ichimoku missed this pattern here. I can see why, because of potential, it's in a down move and there's nothing triggering this Ichimoku to increase. Here it thinks it's going to have an entry and it failed here, so it might have broken even there. But quite the interesting. Some of them are false positives, like here and here. So we gotta watch for that stuff, not to use exclusively. Okay, so that is the Forex, crypto's been an absolute nightmare since yesterday. Like crypto, when it goes down hard. You can see here, these are the only positive ones right now out of how many pairs? 32 pairs. So it's only Ethereum, just slightly positive. And slightly positive with Bitcoin. I believe these get updated on an hourly basis. I have a parameter I can use to know when to trade overall on the overall space. But a few days ago, I came up with a theory of maybe there's a way to see if there are pairs that do well when Bitcoin does really bad and they're not performing as well. But we can check those out. So if we go into the chart section here, chart page, we've got here 1, 2, 3, 6 pairs. So we have Ethereum Classic USD, Ethereum USD, BNB, Ethereum, Litecoin USD, 15-minute chart, and XRP BTC. So let's check these out. Last week it made a correct move on a correct move on one time where it was a 3% move on this pair, so it did okay. But again, here you can see an entry here. But this is where I get a little scared of these kind of pairs, because just look at the extreme wicks that get generated this on a 15-minute chart. To me, these are very hard conditions to trade in. You can see here we have an entry here, but what would have happened was, guess what? We have no exit. So we have here an entry, or sorry, an exit, but looking for the entry right here. This is generated by the Ichimoku, so that did okay. So we have another alert coming up. So that's live. I can show you that in a minute. But going back to the crypto, that was a Forex alert. So these are really hard conditions to trade in, especially for the Ichimoku, but it looks like it got that one correct. Somewhere I did make a comment. This one right here got generated, and somewhere it just got slaughtered. It looks like it's sold right here, because that's not being affected by the, yeah, so there, right there's a 10 can. So here you can look at, so there's the alert. So we last price 393 on the cross above. So 393 was the value. Yep, 3.93 was the last price. So maybe, just maybe, 392. So it was a slight loss there. Okay, so it's not, either way, it's not too good. But if I was to look at 1 hour, see if there's another alert here. So this one is Ethereum Classic, RSI below. So let me just go back to that. So that's affecting this guy right here. So I'll go back to the 15-minute. So what we're getting is we're getting an alert where it's dropped off so much that you have now the RSI has dropped below 30. So it's, the loss is quite a bit, but you can see here there's some movement of people jumping in. So there are some algos that looks like that are built around this one. Just simple, when the price drops below a certain value on the RSI, people will start to pile in. And I can tell you that can be an effective strategy, as simple as it is. Okay, so let's continue on with the March. So as I said, we're going to look at the 1 hour here. There's another alert. So something definitely going on with the RSI here. Let me see here. Yeah, I'll have to move around some windows as usual. Okay, we can load up. So here the RSI on the hourly. I guess that's been generated because of my changing the time period here. As you can see here, we have now a new bar opened up. I still find these wicks are really, really extreme, even on an hourly basis. I believe a lot of this is due to lack of volume or lack of liquidity, because Ethereum Classic has just dropped off in terms of the ranking. But there might be some value here. So you have here this trade here on the Ichimoku. So that price is at 379. And here, 379, 387. So that's a nice trade. So, you might keep that pair because it's still able to profit a little bit on the Ichimoku. Okay, so let's look at the Theorem USD. This one's not doing too good at all. Looking for some Ichimoku signals here, but definitely I will be taking out this regression signal. It's kind of confusing. So I have here an entry. So we have one where it crosses above, but this one definitely failed. Let's see if there's anything else. We have a couple here. This slight one here, 151.63. So that lost a bit. Here's a nice entry right here. That is 151.13. Sold here. So 151.62. So a slight profit. This one, BNB against Ethereum can do well when markets go down. But here we have a 0.1041. Exit might be right here. 0, so that's like a slight profit. But again, let me look at the hourly here. So let me see here. So we have this one, 0.1058 and let's see what this signal says. 0.1049. So that's a slight profit, tiny profit. There's a few in here, but again, let's see on the 15-minute if there's anything here. Like these are wild. So we have one here. So 1055. Come on. 10. So that's a slight loss. So that's on the 15-minute. So certain pairs might work better on an hourly time frame. So this one did okay. See this one here on the hourly, 0.103 on the entry. Come on, 1041. So that's okay for BNB Ethereum. Now we're looking at Litecoin and USD. Again, everything just tanked. Look at this drop. It's not good. So let's see if we have any. But even still, these are again same thing where the wicks are just too extreme. So let's do a 1 hour analysis. So wow, this is crazy. Yeah, these I don't like these wicks when they get like this. So we have here an entry, 0.4468, 44.51. Doesn't look like there's anything else. There's another one here. Yeah, that's a tough one. So when you look at the 15 minutes, so again, what we're looking for is the time frame make a big difference. So we have one here at 45.51. This made a little bit of profit. So that was 46.01. So that made a bit of money. Hello to our new subscriber here. Who we have here? Alan, how are you? Just going over some results here. So Litecoin against the USD, and then we have XRP, BTC here, 15 minute. I'm gonna have to mute you. Okay, mute. Okay, so okay, hopefully I'll stay. If you got any questions, just chat. You can put something in the chat. So we have here the entry here on this one. So that's a nice move. Sometimes there is luck involved. Plus, let me see where the exit is. I think they're right here. So we're looking at, and again, this is XRP BTC. So that's 0.003038. So 3038. And then this one is at 3062. So that's a decent little profit for XRP. Here's another one. 0.029291, and then we have here what we got here, 0.023034. So it's quite odd. It depends on the market conditions, but the market conditions get like just a sudden drop, like you can see in these regression channels. It's definitely not a good thing. So here we have this one here on a 15 minute. It's 3048. Where's a signal for? Oh, here it is. 3048. So 3031. Now, a couple of things I need to highlight here. This is using the data is coming in from Coin Compare, and each one of these is right from a different exchange. And sometimes the pricing comes from different exchanges. And because you can't trade in MotiveWave with crypto, what happens is it will generate the signal, email out, and there'll be a Python listener at the other end. I kind of go over that. And then the Java listener will then process the order based upon these signals. So what I've said earlier is that these signals here get generated by the regression channels is too sensitive. So as I said, I'm going to probably have to, I can still generate the signaling, but that might make the chart, the signaling service really pollute your email inbox. So depending upon what people want, I'll have to either include it, keep it, and only what my Python script only processes the entries for here, the Ichimoku Cloud. So that's the only one entry exit it'll process for the entry and exit. Now, again, what I was alluding to with these signals, the data might be totally different from where it gets generated, and there's going to be out of sync when it gets executed through, let's say, Binance. Now, one thing I did put up yesterday regarding crypto is, let me show you that, really, really important is, I think it was Saturday or Sunday I put it up, where if you go into my channel here at youtube.com/quantlabs, for those on the podcast, if you go into my set of videos here, I put up a study or a lesson learned here. It's called USD comparison, USDT volume on cryptocurrency exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, and Kraken. What you'll notice in there, it's really important to learn about if you're trading in fiat currency or trading in crypto. The high level lesson to be learned, if you have a strategy that's momentum based, you can definitely do okay with crypto against crypto. But if you're trying to do a mean reversion strategy, you definitely want to use a crypto against a fiat currency like a USD. With the USD, there's a couple of lessons here. There's three exchanges that I watch on, and that maybe you can rely on. Is Coinbase, Kraken, and the new Binance US exchange, all for the US market. One of the comments that came out of the Binance US is the liquidity is very low. So I did a study in this video where I show a lot of the major crypto pairs in USD do not even get $100,000 in trading volume. Only just with Bitcoin against USD, there's $1 million plus. So point is that there's very little liquidity in that exchange. The other problem is Kraken and Coinbase are very low comparatively to Binance, the big exchange in Asia. The liquidity is tiny with Coinbase and Kraken as well. I've done my testing with Kraken in USD, and I'm finding the technology sucks. I'm not sure if it's technology or if it's the fills, but it could be lack of volatility or lack of liquidity. And yeah, you get certain fills take too long, so what's the point of trading it? Or it just fails. The technology on Kraken sucks. Coinbase, the commission fees are way too high to make it pretty well inhibitive to trade on Coinbase, because as I showed you, the small profit you get with, there's another alert. Which one's this? Euro, Canadian. We'll take a look at that in a minute if you want. Yeah, so what will happen is that is going to be a problem with trading in fiat, because it's too much or too little liquidity, and from what I'm seeing, either the commission fees too high or too just not enough liquidity to really properly do proper trading. So there's a problem in the world of crypto, and especially now where crypto's been in this long-term descent for the last 2-3 months. There's very little interest in crypto, so the fills are not as good. So still trying to figure out where and what to trade with that. So it's important to understand that. Oh, there's more. Okay, so we have we got another cross here with let's look at some of these charts here. So here, this is Litecoin USD latest alert. You see here, this one's starting to take off. So even just from that little trade, that little alert might be worthwhile. Let me see what else we've got here. Let's see here. We had another one as well. So that was Litecoin, Ethereum USD. Let's look at that one. So you can see here, it's just going into this descent. So there would have been an entry here, it looks like. So it's kind of like a really nice virtual stop loss where this will cut the trade and limit your loss. So far I'm liking what I'm seeing with this cloud, this Ichimoku Cloud signal. Looks pretty good. I'm pretty. It's something to look into, definitely, as a trading for entries and exits and signaling based around that. So what more can I show you? If you guys got any questions, just let me know, or comments, let me know, and I can definitely cover that. But these are what I'm seeing so far. Let's see who we got. So we still have Alan. If you have any questions, just let me know. Type them in the chat. I can unmute you as well if you want to go on to the audio. All right, so that's pretty well what I wanted to show so far. Some working, some not working, especially in the world of crypto. So people go ask, well, why would you trade in this kind of trading condition? I have parameters available to me. I've talked about it in my Python course, what I call a risk metric. And the risk metric basically will tell you when the right trading conditions are to trade in, when the big four, let's call them, are moving. That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple and Litecoin. So, I have a metric, like a volume weighted average price that will say this is the time to trade. But the sad part is that the ones in a downtrend, I was hoping would perform now. They don't look like they're working. So for the risk of it, I think it might be wise just to only trade, because with Binance you can kind of short, but for now I'd just rather long only, and it's better to trade in a when the conditions are right, when Bitcoin's moving at a certain percent, and just lately it's not been a lot. 2 days last week it was doing pretty good, but so far right now. So just so you know which crypto pairs I look for when there is a downtrend. It does look like it has been extreme for the last 12 hours, but usually the ones that kind of perform are waves, Bitcoin, Dash, Bitcoin. So you can see they're there, but they're still, well, this one's just starting to profit. BNB, Ethereum can do okay, and Dash as well. So there was that theory. I'm not sure if it's worth pursuing, because I'm just not interested in losing money, obviously. Also, in terms of the technology of MotiveWave, I put a request out, and I think somebody else did as well, to see them building a scheduler in MotiveWave, because I think it's really critical for any kind of automated or algorithmic trading. They don't have that, so here we sit watching the charts, trying to set up manual charts, and then set up trades around that, and then set up the alerts and apply the templates with the studies in them to generate potential trading opportunities. So it's kind of like half automated, not really automated. So I think there's, some need. Well, maybe might be able to do it in a strategy. I don't know. And one of the other limitations with, from what I'm understanding, is with MotiveWave, if you have a strategy that you build with the SDK and Java, that strategy is a one-to-one relationship with the chart. So you have to build a strategy specific to the chart. So you can't have, let's say, one strategy do the scanning for you and open up the charts and trade off the charts of one strategy. So that's something that would be really cool if that could get added in MotiveWave. I'm not sure the technical limitations of that, if it can be done, but definitely for what I do, and I'm sure a lot of people trade like that as well. But overall, it's still a fantastic platform. I'm not here to diss MotiveWave. I think MotiveWave's an awesome platform. But when you combine the capability with Python and with what I built, there's definitely some advantages there as well. Just got a new participant. Thanks for joining. We got Alex. How you doing? And Alan's still hanging on. So if you got any comments or questions, just chime away. I think we got a cat. Oh, okay. If you want, we got, let me, so you got a question here. Okay, hang on here. So I put you, just so you know, I've, hang on here. Let me see how I can get the chat open. Okay. So happy to be here. I am behind learning this stuff. Well, that's no problem, man. If you're learning, that's cool. I've got, try to organize as best I can where I have the playlists on YouTube with MotiveWave. If you decide to go with something like MotiveWave, I've used MotiveWave for now a month. I'd say 2-3 weeks learning it. It is a beast if you get the Ultimate Edition. It's not it sounds pricey, but for what it can do, it's pretty cheap. I'm going to be honest. It does so much. So there's that, and I've got in my playlist for MotiveWave a whole slew of videos on that. Right now, I'm just experimenting to see what works and doesn't work. That's why I'm doing these webinars with the topic headline latest discoveries, because that's what it is. I'll put up this video and I'll have a playback so you can watch that to learn what I'm taking away already for both Forex and crypto. But so far, the Forex, I have to say the Forex looks pretty good. So I'm happy with that, with what I'm seeing. But I have to, thanks man, but I have to obviously tweak it. Lesson to be learned out of all this, I do like these studies I've been highlighting here. The study called Ichimoku Cloud, which is very intelligent, and I've overlaid it with some of the charts with the regression channels. I think it's just a little too sensitive on the signaling front. Like here, you can see all these signals along here get generated and get kind of polluted. So visually it looks good, but from a signaling point of view, I think it's just best to not send out emails at all for that. Yeah, but still just trying to learn the Ichimoku. The other big factor is combining with RSI. And with the RSI, find it, like here, where was that? I can pull up the Litecoin here. Like here as a great example where if you're involving Fibonacci or you're generating, we can look at this in a minute. Go under charts here. So as I was saying about Litecoin just in the last little bit, here you can see an opportunity here, just in here where the RSI is below, but there's a signal I got generated here, and it looked good, but I do know there was an Ichimoku generated here. We could take a look at that. Here we go, alerts. So this is just since I started this broadcast. So we have here, so as I said, it's generating all the signaling for you, but I'm just testing to see how things go. So I believe this is the Litecoin. So we want to look at this one. I was just showing you. Here, somewhere in here, the Ichimoku got generated, and you know, the price at 44.70, 44.68, and it did generate a nice little move up here, you know, slight profit, 44.86. So can you make money with that? Obviously not. But if you do have an exchange that you're working with that's really low in price at 0.1%, there is a slight chance you should make a little bit of money here. And again, we're dealing with a market condition that's really, really extreme. You know, this is really extreme. We're just starting to see Cardano take off here. Now, if you know, I could easily, just to show you how easy it is to generate, let me just see if I can open a chart here. So that's ADA against the USD. So if I open a chart here, what I can do, and this is again, this is MotiveWave. So here we have this massive bar which we missed, and you're gonna miss these because like I just don't like these conditions. Like look at these price moves. How do you trade that? I mean, even if I looked at it on an hourly basis, I mean, who can trade that? That's Cardano against USD. The volatility is just too extreme on it. And what I do here is I've got a list of pairs. Right here, I got 32 pair. I whittled it down to 27 up until yesterday, and what happened was I've added a few extras, and you see what's happening now. You just get these other pairs I just didn't want to have with these crazy wicks. It's just, I don't know if it's a lack of liquidity, as I said earlier, or if it's manipulated. I don't know, but I just don't like those kind of moves. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Forex, but at least it's more doable in these bars, and the wicks are very minimal, and that's on a 15-minute chart. So here it's just a lot more settled down, as you can see. So, crypto's a little tough right now because of the lack of liquidity. We got a couple more people coming in. Appreciate Alex, Sahil, Ellen's still hanging in there. If you guys got any questions, just let me know. Comments. I'm just sitting on the sidelines blabbing. If you got any questions, I can definitely help you out. You're looking at MotiveWave right now. I've got two instances, one for crypto, and then I've got the Forex happening as well against Oanda. So what I did last night is I've opened up 3 calls right here, 3 pairs, and they did okay. I wouldn't say they did amazing, but the Forex did pretty good, and I'm pretty happy about them. So I'm just trying to tweak things to see what works, what doesn't work. But this Ichimoku Cloud business with the signaling, definitely there's potential there. But it's just trying to figure out on what time frame it works. I think with Forex, it definitely may work on a 15-minute, but the crypto's another matter because it's just too noisy, too volatile. The down moves are just too extreme. But there are some opportunities here that you can make money. I've gone through it. If you want to watch, I'll put up a video playback of this video. I kind of went through that in great detail. Anybody else got any questions so far or anything? I definitely do these webinars every Monday at 12 noon. Sorry if you got this last minute. I was hoping to set up some more things and talk about, but this is as far as I got with the live signaling for my emails, and this is going to be put into the analytics service as well. So that will be a new development. This question is from Alex. Have you seen success in trading? Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of success in trading. Up until maybe a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I had built a Python strategy in Binance that worked really well. It was up to 60-70% winning ratio. The problem with that, within MotiveWave, I've had some success really good success with the Python, but the market conditions change, and by the time you build a bot in Python or any low level, we wouldn't call it low level, but just doesn't have the power of what MotiveWave gives you, you miss out, or you don't know why you're losing money here and there. But when you look at the actual visuals, you can see why. You can definitely code up bots in MotiveWave, but they're not really bots. Everything's in Java. There's no JavaScript. It's only Java, and it's better in Java because Java is a lot more cleaner than JavaScript. It does multi-threading better, and it has better connections into native machine learning as well. So MotiveWave is very powerful. Have you combined Ichimoku with a candle pattern, or use it independent with optimized variables? This is exactly what you're looking at. So I have the Ichimoku running in parallel with RSI and the regression channel. The problem for you, Sahil, is I can't remember what chart it was, but if I was to show you one of the charts, let me see if I can do. See here along these upper bands on the regression, it's just too noisy to generate signals for. So I'm going to keep them in there visually, but only do the signaling around the Ichimoku because I'm tracking the Ichimoku to see if it's reliable, and I think it is. It's one of the best strategies out there that I've come across, or studies or indicators within MotiveWave that seems to work really well on its own. I've shown that before on the details of it. It's really good, actually. Really coded up, and you can get the source codes for it as well. So here you have all the different lines, all of these different things. But what you're really caring about is the signaling, and it will generate your crossing above or below, and that's your buy or sell signal. So far it looks really good, and out of all the ones that I've seen, this one's definitely the best self-contained study yet that I've seen on MotiveWave, and I'm seeing some, I'll say, even enormous potential with it, without a doubt. It's just the market conditions are really tough in crypto, but Forex, there's some potential there, and getting the right time frame as well on the trading. So, one of the things I gotta say is I don't have the capabilities with MotiveWave. I can easily generate the email signals and then have a Python script that will receive the signals combined with other signals that come in and time it around that, and then have the Python do the entry and exits, because some of these signals or some of these studies don't include the signaling. Like one really good example is the Hearst cycle, which is really, really powerful, that I really like, but there's no signaling built around it. But I think that's just more for visual and confirming things from a manual point of view, from a discretionary point of view, versus an automated way, if that makes sense. If you got any other questions, got somebody else piling in here. We got MWJ. Thanks for signing in. If you guys got any questions so far, as I said, I'm going to have a video playback for this, so you can watch that. All I can tell you right now, I'm very excited to use MotiveWave. I've used combination of Python, it's just standalone stuff, and I'm just finding it's very difficult to build models and whatnot. And when you do find something, you always miss out on the opportunity when what you're testing doesn't work, because by the time you finish the cycle of debugging and whatnot, the trading opportunities come and gone. And that's why I'm moved to a MotiveWave, because visually I can see things very quickly, and my philosophy is trying to do as little coding as possible. You might have to do some coding with a study you like, and then build a signaling service or a signaling process around that. And if you really like it and to really automate it, you may want to build a strategy with that as well. So that just cuts out a lot of wasted coding. And the other big thing I like about MotiveWave, the big one, is the optimize feature here. So I can have a study and then run it and then see what works and what doesn't work. So let me go back to my charts here. So from there, if you have a trading idea, portfolio optimization is really important now to me. So if you run and backtest a strategy and you think you're going to do it against a major pair, either crypto or Forex, you may go, my strategy doesn't run. But with the capability of the backtesting and walk forward, you can run it against a whole pile of instruments and seeing, yes, this particular instrument did very well out of, let's say, 50 or 100, and that strategy will work for that particular pair. And that's the power of MotiveWave, because no backtesting facility I've seen can do that. So you know that instantly you have an opportunity to make money on a particular instrument with that particular strategy, and to code that and to back in any programming languages, it's a big time waster. So does MotiveWave tie directly to market APIs? Yeah, that's a good question, Alex. Let me show you how it works. MotiveWave, that's the other beautiful thing about MotiveWave, I gotta tell you, is, let's say you build a strategy you like. So all you gotta do is, let's say you don't have a broker at all. You could sign up for something like Ichimoku, and you could talk to anything you want that you subscribe to via Ichimoku. you build a strategy and you say, oh, I like that idea, and now all you got to do is do this. You get your supported brokers, and then you can take that strategy and be able to talk to any of these brokers. Obviously, the big one, depending on your asset class, like interactive brokers, you can build a strategy in MotiveWave and then not have to do any coding at all for Forex or for stock or Forex for futures versus options. There's no coding at all. It's just now it's all visual and tweaking your parameters on your user profile on the strategy or the study. So that what I'm saying is you don't have to talk directly to the APIs. You're talking to the SDK, the software development kit of MotiveWave, and all these APIs, all these different brokers. MotiveWave will shield you from that. If you followed me in the Python, it's like saying there's 100 plus different exchanges in Python for 100 plus exchanges in crypto, but the package CCXT is a wrapper to all of them. So it's one API, and you don't have to do any big changes to work from one exchange to another using the CCXT in Python. But there's a disadvantage with that as well. You still got to put the time in to modify your bot if you're moving, in my case, which I went from Binance to Kraken. And that took about 3 hours to change. Then I thought, okay, let me test the Kraken to Coinbase. That took another 3 to 6 hours to change in the bot. All the trading logic stays the same, but we're just talking about changing the data, how you interface from, let's say, Coinbase to Kraken. It still takes a lot of time. Here with MotiveWave, you don't have to worry about any of that. It's all taken care of for you with the platform. That's the big advantage of it. And you can just go from one asset class to another, from one broker to another broker, and that's the big thing. You got to understand, MotiveWave is built for, I think, futures and options. It's not really built for Forex. I think it's not really built for Forex and crypto. But you can definitely do a lot with it for both crypto and Forex. As I said, there's a couple of limitations with MotiveWave, but there's always ways to get around MotiveWave. But I'll tell you, man, MotiveWave has really changed my outlook on how to trade from an automation standpoint, but to get myself more into a trader mind frame or head in a mind frame for a trader than as opposed to just focusing on the coding and all the plumbing that comes with a trading bot or a trading system. Here, I'd say maybe 90% of it's taken away. So Alex asks, this sounds better suited for me so as I don't have to have a background in programming. Yeah, definitely. I would say that MotiveWave is definitely the better way to go, because the problem with programming is you got to worry about your database, your charting, your interfaces to your data provider, your broker, exchange. Here with MotiveWave, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just focus on your trading idea and maybe tweak it, as I said, what I'm doing here with these different indicators visually, or I just kind of take an idea, code it up, and you do get 275 studies source code with MotiveWave, which is like nobody gives you that. And you just got to go in and change how you want to generate a signal, and then you go to a strategy and how you want to change when that signal gets generated and what do you do with it on the trading front, because you have all kinds of order capabilities on your market order as well. So you focus really more on the trading, which is what I just wish I did. But I didn't discover MotiveWave until exactly a year ago, and it was version 5. I go, this is a really good platform. 6 came out in September, and I'll tell you, the step between 5 and 6 is like mind-blowing. If you go through my charting, my MotiveWave video playlist, you got volume flow analysis, order flow analysis. Nobody does that, and you can go right down to sub-minute. Nobody gives you access to that, and you get some really killer studies here. So, for instance, if I pull up, now I'm using the MotiveWave Ultimate Edition, but if I was to pull up the Her Cycle, this I can just pull up here visually, and you can confirm where the opportunities exist on any of these charts. Again, you can't do any signaling with the Hurst cycle, but if you want to do even further analysis, you can clearly see where the opportunity is here. Here, there's not a lot of opportunity on this particular pair based upon these two diamonds. But if I was to show you something a little more active on the, let me see here, might be better in the crypto. So the Hurst cycle, like you like to program this alone is next to impossible. Let alone if you're doing it right. Here, it's all done for you on MotiveWave. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just MotiveWave is just mind-blowing what you can do with it. Let me show you the Hurst cycles here as an example. So right now I'm just going to show you the bare bones. So right here, it's signaling on this triple diamond, it's signaling right here that there's a big move coming. And what you can do here, see this right here? These triple diamonds, here's another big move. It works really well. So on the other hand, what it can do is it can forecast where the next triple diamond might be. Right here, December 12th, even the time, and it's done via these cycles, which I could show you here, just as the concept of what a Hurst cycle is. So if I showed you all of the lines that are generated via the Hurst cycle, okay, let me just pull up these little lines here. Again, this is going to look ugly because it's just so many indicators and stuff. What we got here. So what we got here is we've got all these different lines. So the line that you really care about is this one right here. This one right here. I'm following. You can see here. So this cycle, well, is what you want to follow are these triple diamonds, right? So these triple diamonds will always get you some nice up moves. See here, you got another big up move. So now what it can do is it can forecast when that next big triple diamond's coming based around this Hurst cycle. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've never seen anything like this, but it piqued my interest when I heard about it. And as I said, you can base your trading here. But if you know, based upon the historical cycles on these triple diamonds, and you have the ability to say, okay, roughly and around here, you could set up an entry manually and hope for the best that maybe, just maybe, there might be a triple diamond coming in the next few days. Okay, and that's again based upon the historical patterns of these cycles. And they seem to be pretty deadly accurate. It might not be exactly, but at least you can get the day correct. And look, it goes far out from the December 12th to here to around whatever this might be. But I have to tell you that this is only available on the Ultimate Edition. Okay, so this is at the top end. I don't know who designed this, but this kind of blew my mind. Now, if it works or not is another story. But based upon things that I've seen, this appears to be one of the best ones that I've seen. So just keep that in mind. The Hurst cycle, I'm really excited to see. So yeah, again, I'm going to test it to see if it works or not. But let me get rid of this chart. But that's just something that you can do with MotiveWave. I've never seen anything like it. And again, because you're only interested now in trading and trading ideas, you don't have to get bogged down with the coding and setting up all your infrastructure. I'm not saying that's not important. I think it's an important process to go through, but you know, the capabilities of what MotiveWave gives you, just unbelievable. And for the price, I'll tell you, it's a steal. Because right now I've got live signaling happening courtesy of MotiveWave, and then I can tailor other things with the Python as well and build interfaces around that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited with that. So let me just get rid of this because my emails are running. So that's pretty well what MotiveWave can give you. But so far, the signaling I'm pretty happy with. And I only started the trading idea process maybe last night. You know what I mean? So, wow. But yeah, I'm really excited by this. So I'm going to kill the signaling process here. But you guys got any other questions at all? There's 4 of us. It's not too bad. They just had the Black Friday last weekend, 30% off. But even still, I think that this platform is easily number one. You know, there's some little bugs here and there, but I've always found ways to get around that. I could go live trading, but I just don't want to go live trading and then potentially lose money. And my account for Binance is in Binance. Originally, I was going to put some money in Binance US, but the liquidity is too low, and I think I'd lose money just from the liquidity is too low and the exchange is too small. As I said, I've done live trading in Kraken and Coinbase. Coinbase I don't do because the commission fees are too high. And with Kraken, I just don't like the technology. Just a lot of the orders don't get filled properly and blah, blah, blah. Can you suggest a good trading system? You're looking at it. Like, I'm trying to get it to the best as I can, Sahil. I'm trying to get this the best as possible. I'm showing the indicators I think work best in MotiveWave, meaning definitely this study that I've talked about earlier, this study right here, the Ichimoku Kinko Hyo is really, really good. I just showed you the cycles for the Hearst is really good as well. So that's your trading system there. Trading means for stop and loss. Well, if you're worried about that, what you can do is in the alerts. So let me show you the alerts here. You don't have to do any programming at all in MotiveWave. Okay, so let's say I'm going to create an alert. Okay, on a particular chart. So let's say I look at I don't know, Litecoin against USD. What I can do here is I can create an alert. Just give me a second here. So I'm going to create an alert. So what you can do here, if you want first trailing stops and all that, you create your alert under trade. What you can do here is you can create, when you hit that alert, what you can do is you can set your trailing stop right here. Okay, so again, you can do that from an alert point of view and apply trailing stops if you want. And you can also apply stops as well. The problem with this, depending upon the broker, especially in Forex, and they have a market making division, that's pretty deadly for you, because now you're going to signal back to the broker on what you're intending, and they may prematurely kick you out of the trade and blame it on technology so you don't profit. I get that all the time in Forex. But if you're going to do this with futures and options, you don't have to worry about that, because that's federally regulated from the U.S. through the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So you won't get any of that wonky stuff. Technically, it can be done from a regulation standpoint, and depending upon the asset class, yes, it can be done. But for Forex and the bucket shops, I would not recommend doing it. But definitely, I think you can get away with it in the futures and options market. So to answer your question, Sahil, you definitely can do all of this visually, no programming involved, and apply what you wanted was a trailing stop loss as well. But that's only, from what I've seen, only available through the alerts. All right, so any other questions at all? But as I said, I'm going to have a video playback for this. So, you know, as I said, we got Pisor. Thanks for watching. If you guys got any questions, by all means, you're looking at MotiveWave. Some really powerful features in MotiveWave, and it could be done all visually with very little programming. Of course, if you want to get into programming, just do the software development kit idea and tailor your studies, create your own strategies, and you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Very cool stuff. Anybody else got any questions? Like I said, I'll be doing these on Mondays at 12 noon. I'll probably do stuff around the holidays as well. If you want to get a copy of this, you can go over to, there's two options actually. You can buy directly from MotiveWave. If you want to buy through me, I'm a partner of MotiveWave as well. Obviously, I get a cut of that. I might throw in some discounts for people that want to buy through me as an incentive. But if either way, all you got to do is go to quantlabs.net, and at the top you've got the MotiveWave link. So that'll take you to their page, but that will link in my partner referral ID. So if you want to buy MotiveWave through that, for now, that's cool. Go directly if you want. That's cool too. But I'll try to think of some incentives as well. Plus, just so you know, I've got the store stuff where I have it's on Shopify. So I've got the new quant analytics service going to come about. The signaling's working, or I can just turn it on right now and tailor what people want and don't want. So I have that. If you're into the programming, I've got the Quant Elite, and then I've got the Python course as well. If you want to learn about the Python stuff as well, from a trading bot perspective for crypto or forex. So there's different options I've got depending upon what you want. I'm pretty accessible on Facebook, or you can just throw a comment on YouTube. But if you got any further questions about MotiveWave, just let me know. And as I said, I'm running 2 instances of MotiveWave right now, and that enables you to have as many MotiveWaves as you want on the same system with one license. As long as your system has the technical capabilities from a memory and a processing point of view to run, and they have versions for Mac, which is really rare, and Windows as well. And I'm praying that they have a Linux version as well, because this is 100% built in Java. So if you're familiar with Duca's Copy JForex, and then you get this puppy on Linux, you'll get a lot of people, because a lot of people are interested in that. And I've just talked to somebody about it, and he'd jump on this in a heartbeat if there was a Linux distribution support for MotiveWave. And hopefully that'll come around, because it's just cleaner on Linux. Any other questions at all? Comments? So again, I'll be making myself available again, coming up with something next Monday at 12 noon. So if you're interested, let me know. I'm available on the social Facebook as well, and I've got a little bot on my page, and that will get you access to my Facebook Messenger. Or you can just email me as well if you don't do any of that fun stuff at feedback at quantlabs.net for the emails. And that's it. If you guys got any questions, let me know. If you got any questions, just let me know. Here's my email. Any other questions at all? Comments? If not, I'll do a going once, twice, 3 times, and we'll call it a day. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. I guess we've ended this. Thanks for watching. As I said, keep your eyes peeled. If you're on my email list, I'll put another better organized timing on a webinar for this, and show you some of the new stuff I come up with. But I'm hoping to move to futures at some point and get out of the bucket shop Forex stuff. But for now, I'm just playing around with Oanda, and may open up an account if this Ichimoku works. I shouldn't say fund my account for Oanda. Any other further questions? No? If not, I'll call it a day. Thanks for watching, and we shall talk to you later. Have a good day.